So we're here to talk about a little movie called The Foot Fist Way.
Dig in. Let's get to business.
Damon picked this. Damon, why'd you pick it?
I went with this movie because I'm a pretty big Danny McBride guy, and I like a lot of his earlier works. I'd actually only seen this one time. Will Ferrell and Adam McKay had a pretty strong hand in this. McBride actually co-wrote with Jody Hill. But I really wanted to give it a rewatch and really examine it and just see if it still holds up.
Yeah, I just watched it for the first time about a week ago, really for this review. I thought it's great. It's very minimal.
Yeah, super minimal. The budget was less than 80 grand, which is crazy. It's got that Napoleon Dynamite kind of feel, which is, I think, what they were going for. Mm-hmm. We also think it compares pretty well to a movie we've already talked about.
Yeah, we talked about Observe and Report. This was written and directed by the same writer-director, Jody Hill. Features a few actors from that movie.
Yeah, you have Ben Best, who plays, Chuck the Truck in Foot Fist Way, is also one of the cops in Observe and Report. The pervert from Observe and Report actually makes an appearance here, too.
Yeah, you see him really quickly.
We have booths set up in the corner for our schools if you're interested.
Amateurs.
Thank you.
Watching it, it almost feels like practice for Observe and Report because there's a lot of similarities. Very similar shots, even. Like there's a shot where one of his students runs up to punch a fellow partier. I mean, if you just look at that one little shot, it's almost the same thing in Observe and Report with Jesse Plemons. Almost like it's a reference in Observe and Report, but maybe not. The main character, egotistical.
Oh, just the trophy that I won. A little simple token proving that I'm the champion of all North America.
He's an asshole.
Simple plan, okay? So don't fuck this up for me.
He's dumb.
Who do you think will win in a fight between Bruce Lee and Chuck the Truck?
What, are you kidding? The Truck, easy. He's the 8-year undefeated kickboxing champion. Can Bruce Lee say that? No. Bruce Lee is dead.
Socially awkward.
I'm so hungry I could eat a grown man's ass right now.
Everything that he does on the outside is like a facade. He wants this tough guy image, and he wants to assert himself as dominant in almost every situation possible. But on the inside, he's actually a very, very weak man. He has no self-awareness at all. He is a premier dojo instructor. He specializes in demonstrating to crowds how he can break things with his hands. He has all these code of ethics that he runs by that he doesn't follow himself whatsoever, but I think it's a really cool way to cut up the film.
Certainly not in his personal life.
Oh, I'm a fucking asshole. They don't know. They don't know shit. Confidence, strength.
And he also treats his students like dog shit.
How much slice have you had, Julio? How about you've had enough? I'm gonna sit here and pay for you to stuff your face.
The amount of times that he just shits on Julio throughout the movie for almost seemingly no reason, just his own issues with himself, he just kind of projects onto Julio throughout the whole thing. And Henry as a character too is, as one of his students, is that silent, soft-spoken who turns into more of a killer as the thing goes on.
At least in the beginning, Danny McBride's pursuit is recruiting more people.
He wants to make more money, he wants to be successful, and he just wants the image of success that he has to be real.
And that's kind of a problem with what he's doing, is that it's not as much about the quality of Taekwondo, it's about getting as many people on board so you can make more money. It's more of a business than an actual. It's more about the business than the art.
You don't have a degree.
I don't have a degree myself. Sweetheart, I have 4 degrees.
College degree and a black belt degree are the same thing. Yeah, right.
He's got a wife.
Seems like they get along okay, but then as things go on,
We get to the first story beat, the first part of the movie that at least tells you this is a story rather than just a series of funny bits. So he finds out that his wife isn't necessarily having sex with her coworkers. It's more specific than that and funnier than that.
So anything else interesting or odd happening around work? What is this?
It's nothing.
My wife's tits on a Xerox machine and just a bunch of dudes. Time of your life. Who's this? What happened?
I gave him a hand job.
When it's revealed to Danny McBride, you see I don't even know what it is. The camera's shaking, really quickly. You know what I'm talking about?
It's almost like we're in his head.
Yeah,
we feel the rage building.
I don't know why that's funny, but there's a lot of stuff like that. That's kind of speaks to Jody Hill's sense of humor. Where things are funny and you don't necessarily know why.
Jody Hill's really good at making things that would be seeming like trashy and tragic, especially in American culture, just seem hilarious.
Now I know you have seen Eastbound and Down. I have not.
Yeah.
So I don't know, what can you bring to that into this?
So the Eastbound and Down series that was shot with HBO was done after Foot Fist Way, but you can tell there's a lot of similarities in the southern setting, like it's still that kind of idea, which makes sense because McBride and Jody Hill are both from the South. They keep that same kind of sense of humor.
Y'all named your daughter after fucking Titanic?
It's Cassie's favorite movie.
Oh, wow. You gotta be shitting me. What's his name? Fucking Shrek? No, huh?
Kenny Powers in Eastbound and Down is a total asshole who basically wants everyone to think that he's still great and think that he's this like macho-esque kind of guy, but he has nothing going on basically behind him, right? He's kind of a hollow, sort of sad guy.
Come on, these people want to see a show, and I don't want to be embarrassed.
Well, you're doing a good job of that on your own just by how you fucking look.
Hey, you know you're not going to get paid if you walk out of here.
That's Danny McBride in everything he's in. If you hire Danny McBride for your movie, you're gonna get that character.
Yeah, it's almost like he's just several iterations, the little forms of Danny McBride that you see in cinema, and they're always funny, but it's, he's almost a character actor, but it's himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of what he brings to the table.
Very similar to a Jack Black.
Yes.
Where
Yeah.
you're getting Jack Black.
Sorry, Sean, have you seen my piss?
Even in like This Is the End.
Yes.
Where he's playing himself.
Yes. Him and his characters are interchangeable within that movie.
By the way, how great is Danny McBride and This Is the End?
He's the best part of the movie to me.
Fatalities.
Dude, Siegel's dead, Krumholz is dead, Michael Cera's dead.
Yes, and Michael Cera's gone. It's not a total loss, huh? Jesus, Danny. Michael Cera's dead.
One thing that I really enjoyed about this movie, from a time capsule point of view, is 2000s. We were in middle school, grade school. But you notice McBride's wardrobe in this movie. He has one of those cheesy silk shirts with the flames on it that people always used to have back then. It's just that's so perfect for him in this.
So one character that carries over from Observe and Report, or I guess carries over to Observe and Report, is Jody Hill's wife, Colette Wolfe. Probably just as prominent of a role in this movie as a woman who's trying to get recruited by Danny McBride to join the dojo. During Danny McBride's breakup with his wife, he goes after this girl in a very creepy...
Yeah, definitely harassment.
For sure harassment.
Ooh. Feel that energy?
No.
It's here.
Mm-hmm.
Jody Hill himself makes more than a cameo in this movie.
He's somewhere in the top 10 as far as cast and crew, right? If you want to do lines and stuff.
Perhaps the strangest character in the movie.
Very odd. He is like Draco Malfoy if he was a Mortal Kombat character.
But I don't believe in belts. Let's break some cement.
Very off-putting, especially when he's talking to the younger students.
This trip we're on is for men, not little boys. You guys are gonna see things that you've never seen before. Because I'm gonna do a lot of bad things. And you guys aren't going to stop me.
Yes, sir.
You guys ever had sex?
Yeah, I always thought Jody Hill would be like an overweight, nerdy...
like a writer.
Southern guy.
Yeah.
That's what I thought he would be, but no, he looks like a teenage kind of stoner.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dan McBride's idol, he's kind of a blind fan to this guy they call Chuck the Truck.
Yeah.
Who is a B-movie action star.
Yeah.
Much like I was gonna say Steven Seagal, but he's not.
He's
really B-movie.
He's like the poorest man's version of like a Jean-Claude Van Damme or Steven Seagal.
Sure.
He's like it's really poor man's.
Straight to DVD movies.
Yeah. Yeah, the scenes he has with Chuck the Truck when he ends up meeting him, I think, are particularly interesting because Danny McBride, as we said before, treats his students like garbage and tries to belittle them and kind of pick at their weaknesses. Where when he gets in that party with Chuck the Truck flips the script and does the same exact thing as Fred's character.
Oh shit. Yeah. Oh shit. See that? This guy sucks with the legwork. This guy is defenseless.
So, I mean, you see that just kind of like hyper masculine kind of side to it, where McBride's slowly realizing that maybe Chuck the Truck is not quite as cool as he used to be. It's when you see a little self-awareness creep into him.
He wants his idol, Chuck the Truck, to make an appearance at his dojo.
This testing is humongous for us. Chuck the Truck Wallace is going to be there.
The kids also are very into him.
Yeah, Chuck the Truck is a bit of a cult hero amongst the Taekwondo community.
And you don't know how much Danny McBride has influenced their love of Chuck the Truck. It's probably more of himself kind of
projecting that
onto the kids, so now they're excited. But he thinks that Chuck the Truck will just do a nice thing and come in to help the kids, but he wants, what is it, $10,000?
$10,000. I don't really have that kind of money.
It's a friend price.
He's just afraid of disappointing him.
Yeah.
Of turning back on his offer.
When Chuck the Truck actually shows up, he's, and we kind of see this at the party too, not that cool of a guy.
No, he's a loser.
Good job, Raul. Good job.
Hey, you got that money.
Yeah, a businessman. I can appreciate that. I'm a businessman myself. The money is actually back at my house. I had to sell my car for it, but anything for you is cool.
I don't give a shit.
Shake the truck's hand.
Hey, can we get the fuck out of here?
Okay.
Shit-faced.
Yeah.
He's not even fit.
No.
He's got a bit of a belly.
He's kind of got a dad bod. He definitely has some moves, but he's totally just he's pompous, right? He's really not that different from McBride himself, and I think McBride kind of realizes that. Fred, I should say, as this goes on, the ultimate betrayal ensues when his childhood idol ends up screwing him over big time.
Yeah, he doesn't just get a hand job.
There you go.
What the hell, Susie?
He gets the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
Chuck the Truck makes Fred a cuck.
Yeah. Oh. Was this Dr. Seuss? It's weird. The belt testing, I thought it would mostly be combat, but it's really just board breaking.
It's mostly board breaking and form type stuff. There's kind of this little montage where Fred is running across the street just to like get there in time with his face all black and blue from getting his ass kicked the night before. And this sets off the ultimate standoff, right? I thought one of the more effective, the more deeply affected moments where McBride feels like he's a total loser is when Chuck the Truck has stolen the show at the testing, and all of the kids are cheering for Chuck the Truck, and it's like they are now, all of their attention and all of their adoration has been placed into him, and McBride is now totally useless.
His wife wants to get back with him, but Danny McBride is fed up.
Yeah.
About the whole thing.
Fred is done. Fred's no longer putting up with this shit, which is a huge moment of growth for him because he realizes that he's not the man. His wife does not treat him well, and he needs to stop pretending like everything's okay.
It's the first time that Danny McBride makes any kind of decision based on common sense. But even then, he can't get past how weird he is. He makes this really strange, bizarre kind of insult.
And I don't care if you wake up in a ditch with grown men shitting on you and jumping on top of your head. Maybe your nose will turn to a big old dick and you can stroke that all the time. I hope your hair turns into dog shit one day. You wake up and you run your comb through it, and all that it is little trindles of dog shit. The worst shit that you could imagine. AIDS.
And then he just like takes a piss on the ring.
He pisses on her ring, which I imagine is like just a little bit that they had even before making the movie. Like, we gotta have a scene where he pisses on his...
Fred has to redeem himself by essentially a taekwondo off.
You know, it's like a classic 80s movie. Even the montage at the end of them breaking boards. You got that song that was played on a boombox earlier during a recruitment demo.
I was confused when I watched this at first because it looks like they finish at the same exact time.
It does, doesn't it?
And yet all of the kids,
I
they
was
rush
thinking
over
that
to
too.
Fred. He's learned a little bit. He's probably still an asshole.
Can I be on the demo team too, sir?
I think we're going to keep you where you're at, Bruce.
But he seems to have grown by the end of the movie, which that is what I think is the most unique part about this McBride vehicle. because usually when he's a featured character, he is a foil, or he is a guy who is just there to play the straight asshole with there's no character shift at all. You could argue in Pineapple Express a little bit, but for the most part, he's a static character, right?
Saul. Hey, Saul.
I think it's a funny movie, but not even just a straight comedy. It's a good movie that just holds up in that sense.
Yep, the indie style definitely plays a lot to what it is. It is kind of a drama in a way, just situationally what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there are plenty of jokes, mostly based on dialogue and what's said by Danny McBride.
How much longer? Hurry up. I mean, when I told y'all to take peas before we left, I was serious about that. I mean, I gotta take a shit. You don't see me out here acting like an animal.
Has Danny McBride starred in anything else? Any other movie?
He was
I can't think of
Your Royal Highness with James Franco. He was kind of a co-star, right?
Oh my God!
Right?
I think I forgot about that entire movie.
I think we all should.
Wow.
I think
it was Your Highness, right?
Your Highness, yeah. Your Highness.
What the hell was that?
Motor started.
Oh, well, what is Motor started?
It's a place of legend. Powerful magic.
This movie seems like it is made for him to succeed, and it does. There's not a lot of great acting aside from him in the center. There are a couple instances in particular, especially his wife, where it's just like, I'm just not really sure the acting is that strong.
Give me my balls. Get him in his balls.
That's stupid.
This is one where all the characters are silly. It's not just a situation where the main character's silly and all the people surrounding him are normal.
There are a lot of caricatures.
Everyone's weird.
A lot of caricatures.
Here's a bit of a confession from me.
Yeah.
When I was in middle school, I took karate for like 3 months.
Yeah.
I hated it. And I realized the only reason I really wanted to pursue karate was I liked the movie Karate Kid a lot.
Yep.
I was obsessed with it. And it was a mistake. The whole thing was a mistake. I'm not built for a karate guy. Like, could you picture me as a black belt?
You never know. You never know.
I found out Jody Hill is a black belt.
In real life?
Yes. Yep.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite scene?
My favorite scene is where Danny McBride beats the shit out of a kid. Because he's angry with his personal life and he takes it out on this poor kid.
Legal contact! It's a legal contact!
No, it wasn't.
What the hell are you talking about, Simmons?
Office party. My wife, your husband.
Mr. Simmons, my husband is dead.
You're making this really awkward.
Classic case of mistaken handjob identity.
It happens. It happens to the best of us.
Oh, man.
You get a few kids as casualties every once in a while, but what are you going to do? What's your favorite?
My favorite scene, and this is strictly because of the action and the shift in a lot of our characters, the fight scene in the party.
Julio, Jesus Christ, dude! Fuck it, get ready!
That whole fight kind of subverts your expectations. You expect them to be kicked out or something, but they actually just gain respect.
And beat up the band? I think that's cool as shit.
It's a nice, heartwarming moment in a movie that has a very cold heart. I would definitely recommend this movie.
I would too. It has that kind of cult movie vibe that.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's like it's a deep cult. It's like the B side of the cult collection. When I went to buy the DVD, it was actually more expensive. A used copy of Foot Fist Way was more expensive than the new copies of every movie around it.
So, fun fact, Foot Fist Way is the direct English translation of Taekwondo. So, in Japan, Foot Fist Way is just called Taekwondo. It must be, right?
Yeah. Would you recommend this movie, Tyler? Forget it. Cut.